So, other thing out of this, you really are trying to speak for FBA and black Americans while not even being a black American yourself? Look at you. There's no way in fucking hell you are a black American. You don't even look like one. You look like a fucking African straight out of Africa. And you are sitting here trying to say that somehow you think that you're going to say what black Americans are and aren't. Very weirdly, in my opinion. Now, as far as where black Americans live, because you seem confused, you thought that black Americans didn't live in the North. No, many do live in the North. Specifically, there are genetic communities of black Americans in the Atlantic North and in the Midwest. Usually our heritage is very different from Southern black Americans. The Southern black Americans have a lot more European because they had slavery longer down there. So they have a lot more white slave ancestry. While Northern black Americans tend to be a little bit more isolated for those reasons and to have less white ancestry. And also the white ancestry that one would have would specifically not be English and Irish, but more so Swedish, German, Western European, Dutch, so forth. And the reason for that is because if you look at the white populations in America, the southern states tend to have more English, Irish, and Scottish heritage, and in the Midwest, they tend to have more ancestry from like Scandinavia and places like Germany, the Netherlands, so forth. So, I mean, like, you saying that black Americans didn't live up north, that's just weird. My family comes from New Jersey. I have family all the way since 1838, and they were free since 1838 in New Jersey. And I have family since the 1850s, I believe. I can trace them back before slavery. I mean, after slavery. In Iowa. The only southern family I have is particularly my family that's Creole. Oh, and my dad's family might be southern too. He says some southern states like Alabama and Mississippi, but my mother's family is mainly Midwestern, Northern. Particularly, do you think that Dwayne Wade isn't black American? Because his Wade side is Midwestern. Yeah. Well, not particularly Wade. His Robert side is Midwestern. Um, because I'm related to the Wade, so I know how their family works. Um, but yeah, we have family from Ohio through that side, and then we have the Wades who are originally from Virginia, and then also there's some people from I think it's Kentucky or Tennessee or something like that. So there's slight southern connections, but mostly no. Most of my family is like New Jersey, Iowa, Ohio, you know. I guess you could say Virginia's kind of south. Kind of. Not very, but it's somewhat south. Um, but definitely not deep south. You know, a lot of black Americans who are free and lived in the Dismal Swamp are somewhere in that area in the northern part of the South, too. And they would have also less European ancestry because of the lack of slavery. Slavery caused black Americans to mix and have one out of two of their paternal lines to be European ancestry. This is why black Americans end up being about 25% white. And if you think of that, it's all through paternal lineage for black Americans. That means half of the paternal lines of a black American is European descent. This is why half of black men are likely to have a European paternal lineage. This is all due to slavery. People who are from the north don't have that percentage and have more African ancestry. This is why you'll find people who have families centered in the Midwest, like in Ohio, northern Ohio, southern Michigan, northern Illinois, northern Indiana. Those type of people tend to be higher percentages of African, well into the 80% range, because their families were freed faster than those in the South, which were freed later in life, which meant that more mixing occurred in those families because of the slavery. So if you're really going to talk about that, you're going to actually imply that southern people are actually more white and more mixed compared to northern black people. But more than that, like I said, please do not try and make assumptions on black Americans, and who's black American and who's not, when you're not even a black American yourself. There's so many divested black women who are black Americans, so I don't know why you're just making that up. Divested Zealot is black American and she's divested. Olivia is black American. She's not non-FBA. She's FBA. And she is divested. Divested witches. There's so many different people. Cerebro. So many. So, I mean, like, I don't know why you tried to make that up. Like, come up with something else to make up. But the whole non-FBA thing isn't going to work. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.